Called flop, limper. This person ISO'd after posting. Gonna bet 70% turn. Here on the river, I think we can still target some like ace X type hands, some single pair like 10x type hands. Don't expect folds from queen X. Here we're gonna go for the cold four. 10-4-8. I think there's just like a lot of hands that we can get calls from, and I think they'll mostly call like 10x is my target plus draws. I think they're all gonna call 70%, so just gonna start out with a bigger size. Got a gutter here. Just not really good enough to bet. Can't call a bet here at four ways out of position. Here, cutoff versus uh, small blind. We're going to four bet. Um, No, let's just call. I think this is the type of board that we're going to see a lot of triples on from their bluffs and some checks as well from their under pairs. I think we could raise here. I think we want to keep their bluffs in. So I want to just I think I want to just call here and let's get farther into the game tree. Got the ace of hearts working for me. Once they check, I think I'm gonna place a small bet, setting up for a river jam. Ooh, don't love the queen. Hmm. Now I'm thinking about just checking back. Queen X or queens were one of my main target, and it demotes all their other under pairs. King Queen is also another target. I know it seems like pretty nitty with Ace King, but I think I'm just gonna check back. Here with my ace three of diamonds, I think the most value is in just calling versus these two short stacks and just playing post flop with a suited ace. Versus an overbet, there's nothing we can do even with the gutter but just fold. Oh, he's leaving. Bummer. Flop a flush draw. Gonna start out with half pot bet and a 3-bet pot. Gonna go half pot again. Don't expect to get jammed on very often here. We have the overpair, we have the queens. Think once we get called on turn for the second half pot size bet, probably just have a check back with this particular hand, given that we want them to have clubs. So we'll just check back. Here we're gonna put in the 4-bet. And we will obviously call a jam. Ace, king, jack can just start off with small. Um, I wonder if we can ever just go bigger here and make it a 2-street game. I think this could be interesting. Let's try that. It'd be interesting. Just experiment a little bit. Calling it all in. on that previous hand with the two-tone board with the a lot of gutters and things like that available, pair plus draws, those types of things, I thought that it might be better to not get to the third street before the money went all in. So that was my thinking there and why I decided to make it a two-street game rather than a three-street game. I think the hands that are folding for 25% or the hands that are folding for 50% are not calling for 25. So just thought it was a interesting board to try something a little different on. Flop a gutter here. Here we're gonna start off with a bet. I think we'll just go 50%. Backdoor straight, backdoor flush. Trying to decide between 70% and overbet. I think overbet is best. We want to represent the straight here. And we have the 7. I'm between 3-bet and call. I think we would just call here. Here on the 8 of hearts turn, I think we can bet like 50% and still get called by ace X here. I don't think after they check flop that they're likely to bluff turn. So I think we want to start putting a little bit of money in here with our pair, plus ace high. On the queen of diamonds, they can have queen X of hearts. I think again, just like a small bet is fine here, and we can always fold to a jam if they jam, but I don't think they're gonna have a lot of diamonds here, honestly. After they check back flop, they don't have much diamond hands at all. Thought about using a smaller ISO size here because they're a short stack, but I'm just gonna stick with my 4x ISO and fold to the 3-bet. Not gonna call king queen out of position. Not going to raise a 3-bet for as a bluff with king queen since they're 3-betting over my ISO, which is a stronger range. Going to three bet here. The fold. I think you could call 5-8, but like I'm not a heads up specialist. I'm not gonna navigate these spots like super well. Ace 3-4, mono. Assuming they check. I'm just gonna check this hand back. Like we do have the clubs and we have a combo draw, but it's like not a great combo draw, and we have king high, so we can still be beating like a lot of their hands. Also gonna check back turn here. I don't think that they're gonna check many clubs, so I want to give them a chance to start bluffing here with my weak club. I'd rather bluff catch. They check. We're gonna go ahead and just B70 and try to get called by some single pair hands. I think Ace X would always bet, so we might get bluff caught by like 9X here. Oh, pipped by one, pipped by one. Ace six on 993. Just gonna start off with a check. We have some showdown value, and I don't think that there's any good reason to bet yet. They bet one into three, just going to call. Backdoor diamonds come in. Here with ace, when they 2x pot, we're obviously not calling that. Ace seven on 935 mono, just gonna check. I'm just gonna overcall here with a small suited connector. Flop a flush draw here again, just checking. River and ace. And I get called by worse. There's not much to target to get called by worse. So I just check here. Here on the six of diamonds, we're gonna lead 70%. Hmm. I think here we will bet call or bet fold with our diamond. Here is tricky. Got a bet and a call. I think I'm going to fold this one. The A boys, American Airlines. Here we are going to call with our two overs. Here I'm going to be 70. They can definitely have worse hands for value. Here I'm going to go 70%. Start bluffing. Here it's getting kind of dicey. Some two pair come in and things like that. Um, Backdoor diamonds come in. We have queen high, and they bet half pot. We just fold here. Here we're definitely going to bet for value and going to go. I think we'll just go 70%. I think we want to target like a jack or a queen X here. Wow. This is a tough one because they checked the river and then go for a check raise, which is like extremely under bluffed line. Um, but then they also just like aren't gonna get any value if I just check behind, which I check turn. So this is I think we're just gonna call. Here we're gonna flat the sixes in the small blind. Here we're just looking to get the showdown with our pair of eights. Ace queen nine, gonna start off with a small c bet, just looking to get folds from hands better than 10x. Nine pairs on the turn, just going to check fold mostly here. Gonna bet here 50%. Just looking to get folds from ace high, king high, hands that just don't connect with this board. Flop two overs and an open ender. Definitely going to be c betting here. I'm just gonna call versus their open. I think I could just raise as well, but we're just gonna call. Again, I have way more than 25% equity versus this sizing, so we're just gonna call here. I'm beating 8-9. There's less 4x combinations. They bet twice. Losing to some ace highs, but I think we'll just check back here. Nice. Gonna be checking my range out of position here. Low jack versus high jack flat. We have two overs, so we can typically make a call versus a lot of sizings when they bet. Again, like they can just have like a lot of hands. I think they're gonna be trying to protect a lot of pairs pretty often, so I think we can just have the best hand here a lot and no need to bet yet. I don't expect them to be checking back a 9x or an 8x or a set really ever. So once they bet here, I think we will go ahead and just call. And definitely calling on this river here as well. They can have some like sets of twos and things like that, but we're definitely not folding to this size. Um, I'd like to play with this player, but I think when they open 4x, they could be quite strong. So we're just gonna go ahead and fold this one. Open the American Airlines. King 7-8. I'm gonna start off with a bigger sizing versus this player. They're gonna have a lot of King X, pairs, draws. I'm just gonna go ahead and go with the 70% bet. Once they call here on turn, I'm gonna size up to an overbet sizing and target their king X types hands. And yeah, I think that is good. We need to three bet the ace seven of hearts. They're 35-26. I'd like to play with the ace versus this player, but they're so short that I don't really want to have to go with it if I just flop an ace and we get it all in here. Normally fours are pretty cuspy here. I'm just gonna open it for 1.25x with all these fish at the table. I think I want to play this hand and hopefully stack somebody with a set. Here we're going to four bet. Can't go too big because of the stack sizes. Here we're going to raise. Here we'll just fold. We're going to call. Again, going to three bet. Ace, ace, eight. Um, Here I'm just going to flat and play with these two fish here. Start out small, like really small. Gonna go half. Here we're gonna call. Turn an ace here with our go with our flush draw. And again, just going to check. Here I'm going to three bet. Queen nine six, two hearts. I think I'm gonna have a big bet or check strategy, and I think ace high fits well into our check strategy. We don't have like great back doors, and I want to give them an opportunity to bluff. We can also bluff ourselves later in the hand. They go pot on the river, six of hearts. I think like in theory our hands quite indifferent. Um, they've checked twice and then gone pot. Pretty suspicious of this bet, but I think I'm just gonna fold to a pot size bet. Ace six on a mono board. I think we'll just fold. I don't think we're gonna fold an ace here, so I don't want to take a stab at this one, even though it's checked all the way to the river. Here we're gonna start out with a check, check again. Seen a lot of aggression from this player, so I think it's a good opportunity to let them start bluffing. Normally this hand is not an open, but with all these fish at the table, I'm going to open it. We also have a tight person on the button, so they're often going to fold. Let's start out with a check here. Versus sizing, I think we're just going to check call. We have the open ender and an overcard, but on this board, I suspect we have like a lot of equity versus their bluffs and like their low equity bluffs, like pairs under the nine, pairs under the seven, that kind of seven and below, that kind of thing. Again, just going to check call. And on this river, we will just fold to the three barrel.